Hey yo, what's going on, guys? DOZ101 here with the Raw review. I apologize for not getting one out to you guys in a certain amount of time, but now let's not waste any time and go ahead and get into it. Michael Cole starts off the show with news that swept the world regarding the condition of Vince McMahon and the status of the NXT group, who now will call themselves Nexus. Cole says Barrett is at WWE headquarters speaking with officials, and then the mystery GM, who I believe is Michael Cole, kept getting emails like for the first half of the show, and Sheamus makes his way out to a course of booze, and he said he was disgusted from last week, and the one good thing that had happened is that Cena is no longer the number one contender to the title, and Sheamus was all like, "The champ is here," and he'll never have to look at Cena's orange shirts or never hear his catchphrases again, or the fans chant for Cena, and Cena will never get a shot at the title again. Cena makes his way down and mocks Sheamus, being all like, "I'll never get another title shot," but Cena asked Sheamus to help him out, taking out the NXT rookies, because Cena says Sheamus will be next. And then Cole interrupts him like 5 times, saying that if like an NXT guy touches a WWE superstar, they'll get fired, and if a WWE superstar touches an NXT guy, they'll get suspended. And Cena says, "Man, that ruins our plan." And the GM sends another email saying that Sheamus will face off against the world's strongest jobber, Mark Henry. And Sheamus is like, "You know what? Fuck this, I'm out." And then Cole gets another email, the steel cage lowers, and then Cena will face Sheamus at Money in the Bank. Wow. What a shocker. And then the Hart Dynasty versus Natalia, or the Hart Dynasty and Natalia versus the Usos and Tamias. Sorry about that. This match was really nothing special. The Usos and Tamia won when basically the two male Usos jumped Tyson and DH, and then Natalia got body slammed a couple times, and then Tamia hit a Jimmy Superfly Snuka Splash, and it went to a no contest. Josh Matthews is backstage with R-Truth, and then he's like, "What are we going to do about Nexus?" Truth is like, "They're like animals, man, and firing them would be too easy. He says they should be left in the WWE Zoo because he's a zookeeper, and that's the truth." Santino versus Kozlov, nothing special. Kozlov won with the Iron Curtain. Regal came out after the match, beat up Santino, and Kozlov saved him. That was really, really boring. And then Great Khali and Ranjan cut a promo, and Ranjan turned heel by basically insulting Khali, and it was really nothing special. I don't see that going anywhere. And then Justin Roberts put over Rob Zombie, and Michael Cole was like, "Man, I love this song by Rob Zombie," even though this was the first time he ever heard it in his entire life. And then the Money in the Bank Raw ladder match is going to be Randy Orton, Miz, R-Truth, Jericho, Evan Bourne, Ted DiBiase, Morrison, and Edge. And then Edge and Zombie had a few words, and then Edge is like, "Man, I had to stop using your music, and I dumped you." And then Zombie's like, "No, Edge, I dumped you." And then Rob Zombie just left, thank God. The guest host thing, time for it to die out. And then Edge is gloating about his Money in the Bank cash-ins and whatnot, saying he beat The Undertaker. And then he says he's going to take out Orton and everybody else. And then Cole sends himself another email saying tonight will be an eight-man tag. Edge, Miz, DiBiase, Jericho against Bourne, Morrison, Truth, and Orton in an 8-man tag match. Mega match. Ooh. Then Sheamus versus Mark Henry. Sheamus won with a bicycle kick. That's about it for that. And then Josh Matthews is backstage with the Nexus people. And then Tarver is like, superstars can get suspended and they can still make an impact. Skip gets in the face of a production guy and then just nails him. And then they all laugh. And then the NXT people attacked Ricky Steamboat, Jerry Lawler, Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, Mike Rotunda, and Michael Hayes. That was really even nothing special tonight. I mean, I know they're taking out legends and whatnot, but this was really nothing huge. You know, the NXT angle, this week it was all right. It wasn't anything great. Then we went to Alicia Fox and Maurice versus Gail Kim and Eve Torres. Alicia Fox and Maurice won when Gail Kim got pinned. Then we went to the only match of the night really worth watching. I could have just skipped this entire Raw for the ending. Edge, Jericho, Miz, and DiBiase versus Mystical, Morrison, Evan Bourne, and Randy Orton. This was even really nothing too special. Randy Orton got the RKO on Ted DiBiase. It was a real quick match. It maybe lasted like 5 minutes. And Randy Orton hit an RKO on Ted DiBiase for the win. And after the match, Edge attacked Orton with the ladder. And then Bourne and Morrison super kicked the ladder, tossed him from the ring. Bourne leaped over the top rope onto Jericho. And then Miz took out Morrison in the ring. And then Miz grabbed the ladder, began to climb it. Orton dumped him off. And then Orton unhooks the briefcase. Overall, guys, this Raw, nothing special. I would not DVR it. I wouldn't recommend really even watching it, to be honest. Hopefully the NXT angle will get better next week. Granted, they took out Steamboat and whatnot. I thought the NXT angle was all right tonight. Overall, Raw, kind of a bit of a disappointment. I'm going to go ahead and grade it and give it a C+. Wasn't great. And the reason, guys, why I'm doing an audio video is because over the weekend I got jumped by 2 mysterious figures. I know one of them for sure may have been wrestling fan, 7 to the 6th power. I'm not entirely sure on that. And the other, I don't know much about this mysterious figure or what he calls himself. Maybe wrestling fan will make a vid in a few days. Maybe claiming their intentions. I don't know what the deal is with this. But in the meantime, I encourage you guys to go check out WrestlingRevolution.com, the epicenter of all your wrestling needs. It's myself, ADTV, the U2C, the Block from the Wrestling Show, and Classic 1333. Anyway, guys, this is D. Jose, and this is your Raw Review. I'm out.